Do you ever wonder how those guitarists effortlessly create beautiful melodies with just using their fingers? Well, it all starts with the right technique. Fingerstyle guitar playing allows you to simultaneously pluck the bass notes, strum the chords, and produce intricate melodies. It's a whole new level of guitar playing that will amaze your friends and captivate your audience. And it's not as difficult as you might think. With a few basic steps, I can take you on the exciting journey into the wonderful world of fingerstyle mastery. So grab your guitar, find a comfy spot, and let's dive in. Hello everybody, diving into fingerpicking today as promised. But before we get going, I want to ask you if you find value in this video, if you enjoyed it, if you've learned something, hit that like button, leave a comment below, and above all else, don't forget to subscribe so you can keep up on all of our future lessons. Let's get into it. Okay, so fingerpicking. It's really important before we dive into fingerpicking to understand the hand that we're using to fingerpick with. All the fingers must be identified. Let's talk about which ones we actually use and which one we don't use. So taking a look at my fingerpicking hand, we have a thumb, index, middle, and ring. Now, in some different genres, you're going to see P, I, M, and A. That would be short abbreviations for some Latin terms for the fingers, but we're going to use thumb, index, middle, and ring. Now, the pinky is not used, so we're not going to use the pinky. It's the smallest finger we have, it's the shortest finger, it's also the weakest finger, and it doesn't play well with the others. So this one's just kind of sit on the bench and sit on the sidelines for this. So thumb, index, middle, and ring. Now also, some students have questions about fingernails. Now, it's not necessary. You don't need fingernails to play. I tend to have them on my hand because I'm a classical guitar player, and on a nylon string, you definitely need them. All right, it's the difference between tone when you have fingernails and when you don't. So it's a softer tone versus a much brighter tone. All right, let's dive right in. So let's talk about finger placement when it comes to the right hand. All right, so when I'm starting in on this, the thumb needs to be in a certain spot, the index finger needs to be in a certain spot, the middle finger, and also the ring finger needs to be in a certain spot. Let's talk about that. So generally, anything that is played on strings 4, 5, and 6 is always taken care of by the thumb. Always. That's just a general rule. I try to stick to that rule. The index finger is going to always be playing the 3rd string. The middle finger is always going to be playing the 2nd string, and the ring finger is always going to be playing the 1st string. Now, there are cases where this can move down. So in other words, the index, middle, ring can all move up a string and play on strings 2, 3, and 4, but not for this example, not for this video today. All right. Okay, also, it's worthy to note where my thumb is actually placed. My thumb is outside of my hand, and why? Because it's the strongest finger we have. It's the opposable finger, right? It's really kind of strong, so it pushes the string harder, I think, than the other fingers typically do. So you want to keep it on the outside so it has more than enough room for activities. Right? So you're going to keep that out front, all right? Keep that thumb out because it moves in circular motion. All right. Index finger, as mentioned on the 3rd string, think about this. When this finger moves and when all these other fingers move, they basically move towards the palm of the hand. If my wrist is high enough, the fingers will move towards the palm of the hand, and a completed motion will really just be a fist. All right, let's dive into the 3 important techniques and the 3 different ways of fingerpicking. The first one is going to be what I like to call arpeggio. Now, arpeggio is a fancy term. It's an Italian term. That means a broken chord. So with this, what I'm really talking about is playing each finger one at a time in an ascending and a descending fashion, like this. See how that works? That will be arpeggio. Each finger one at a time, ascending and descending. The next style would be what I like to call piano. And this style is exactly what it sounds like. On a piano, when you play a chord, you just play them all at the same time. Same thing here, so watch my hand. This is piano style. All at once. All at once. Notice my fingers are moving towards the palm of my hands, and a completed motion is a fist. We don't want this. Right? All right, the third and final way of fingerpicking is what I like to call hybrid. And a hybrid just exactly what it means. It's a mixture of 2 different ways of playing, which would be piano and arpeggio. This style, I feel, is one of the most used when it comes to learning pop and especially folk music. This style looks like this. Notice what I'm doing is I'm playing two notes at the same time and arpeggiating the other notes. All right, let's put this into practice. So the two chords you're going to be practicing this on are going to be a C chord and an A minor 7. I chose these chords because there's very little movement, which allows us to focus on this hand. Let's try this arpeggio with these two chords. Follow along on the screen for the tab. That's how arpeggio works. Let's move on to piano style. Here's what piano style looks like with these two chords. We're going to play a C chord twice. Notice where the thumb is. Thumb's in the fifth string. Index is on the third. Each one of these fingers are on their assigned strings. All right, that's piano style. Now let's get into the hybrid mixture of the two. Here's what this one looks like. Take a look at your screen. All right, there you have it. Those are the secrets for finger picking. I promise you, if you practice those every single day, over time, your fingers will just understand what they're supposed to do, and the economy of motion in the right hand will be down, and the next time you tackle a finger picking song, it'll be way easier to learn. So thank you for tuning in. I look forward to seeing you in the next lesson. Take care and keep practicing.